So, immediately following the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard, there was a lot of crying on Twitter. A lot of salty Sony fanboys, a lot of Xbox fanboys celebrating, a lot of coping, and a lot of damage control from the gaming media. I don't think anyone picked up on this because I don't think anyone is as well, maybe except Zobi. Zobi is the only person I think who follows this kind of thing more closely than me.
This is the content Zobi70 makes. This is what Zobi70 looks like. Does this really look like a man you should take serious? Does this really look like a man should be any kind of source information? Doesn't surprise me. He's more caught up in a console war than most people because he has no life and all his YouTube channel is this console war bullshit.
Most people, there were an awful lot of game journalists who were taking this situation regarding Activision Blizzard, Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, which is clearly a major blow against their primary competitor in the console space, Sony PlayStation. Completely such a severe blow that I don't think they'll ever be able to recover, really.
Yeah, I agree. It's a big blow to PlayStation. It's a big blow to their revenue. They make profits off the Call of Duty games. They don't make like more direct profits, but they do get like a certain cut of the piece when people buy games. So yeah, it does suck. But is it a death blow? No. Sony will do more likely what they've been doing is just double down on their first party games, trying to make them the best they can be, and now there's actually just a little bit extra money. I know some people will sit there and say they want Sony to go out and buy a bigger studio. I don't say that. I say stick to the path they're on, but whatever. According to a Nintendo fanboy, a PlayStation console is dead because it doesn't have a Call of Duty game for the next foreseeable future. But Nintendo's fine because they don't have Call of Duty, but you fill in the blanks there.
Really what the discussion should have been was about that, like how Sony's going to recover from this, how they're going to counter, what they're going to do to deal with the loss of Call of Duty, literally the most popular game on their platform. This is a big deal against PlayStation, so much so that I don't think they'll ever be able to recover from it.
I swear, I literally just heard him say that before he just said this time. Is he on repeat? I mean, that would make sense. His brain can't really function because it's got the processing power of a Nintendo Switch.
But you don't hear game journalists talk about it. Instead, what they're trying to steer the discussion towards is the possibility that maybe Microsoft could acquire Nintendo. They are looking at this situation, seeing how bad it looks for PlayStation, and are trying to damage control by making the discussion about Nintendo instead. Like, oh man, Nintendo is only worth $50 billion and Microsoft's worth $1 trillion. They can totally acquire Nintendo. Not actually possible, from what I understand of a Nintendo shareholder situation.
I don't think game journalists are trying to steer the conversation in this direction. I think they're just pointing out something. Activision's, in theory, worth more money than Nintendo, and Microsoft just bought them. So, in theory, Microsoft could. Now, I do believe there are some laws that prevent that from happening, but just saying, if those laws didn't exist, it's fairly possible Microsoft could buy out Nintendo, and just imagine a game industry without Nintendo or Sony. Oh my god, that'd be scary.
I'll have to look into this a little bit more to talk about like all the ramifications, but like Nintendo doesn't want to sell, like is what it boils down to, and Microsoft can't go forward with a hostile takeover because I think of the way the shareholders are divvied up. I'm not an expert on this kind of thing. I'm not a Nintendo shareholder yet. So until that happens, until I start becoming an expert on the subject, I'm just gonna go with like Nintendo just doesn't want to sell.
Yo, for real, Harman Smith as a shareholder on Nintendo, how's he not won yet? I mean, you said by the way this man reacts to certain news about PlayStation and Microsoft and all that stuff. You would think he was a fucking shareholder of Nintendo, but apparently it's not. Shit, Harman! Thought you were rich? I thought you had that book money. Where's the book money, Harman? Why aren't you buying stocks in Nintendo? Just saying, you love Nintendo so much. Why not, using that book money to get some of them stocks? Or are you really poor as fuck, just like I am, and somehow you think you're better, but you're above certain people like me?
Um, in fact, they've already rejected an offer from Microsoft to be bought out once. From what I remember, and people don't want to talk about that. They want to instead like speculate on like, oh, when's Microsoft going to acquire Nintendo? So,
Harman, here's a better question. Why are you taking these people serious? You should know this is a joke. Most people are joking about it. Like, oh, when's Microsoft going to buy Nintendo? Because, you assume once you bought Activision Blizzard, anything's on board. Even fucking Sony could be on board. Just saying, dude, are you actually taking jokes literal?
it's ridiculous. I think the Sony thing is just it's just getting sad at this point. Like the Sony Defense Force is going full throttle. I don't even think I heard game journalists take back what they said last time this happened with Bethesda. That like, they're totally going to release games on PlayStation 2. No, they're not. No, they're not. Like they acquired it. It's gonna be coming to Xbox and then Nintendo later. Like that's how it's been for a long while now. Like Xbox seems to just hate Sony at this point. Like,
I know I talk with my hands every once in a while, but at least when I talk with my hands, I actually have expressions. At least I could do this and that. I'm not going and not having words going on. Like, Cody, come on, man. You gotta try better. You gotta try better. First, the whole Sony Defense Force trying to say that games they'll still come to PlayStation. Yeah, that was pretty stupid. I'll admit that. I was kind of one of those people first naive about that, but more as time progressed, I was like, yeah, Microsoft's going to keep these exclusive because it just makes sense. Why would they give Sony games that they know they can make more direct revenue off? So, yeah, I feel a little stupid. Can't lie. I was one of those guys that was surprisingly naive about that, but I've learned. I've learned not to. When these acquisitions happen, they more likely are going to be exclusive. And while it sucks because we're losing out on a game, at the same time, personally, I'm not affected because these weren't games I was going to buy to begin with.
more than I do. Like Ori, yeah, it can go to Xbox, it can go to PC, it can go to Switch. Like, but PlayStation, no, fuck that shit. Halo, yeah, people have been talking about Halo coming to Switch. Like, that's the thing that people don't seem to understand, don't seem to want to remember.
Okay, Cody. Okay, cool down. Yes, Ori and Cuphead came to Switch. But here's the question: did you guys get the medium? Did ya? Did you get Quantum Break? Did you get all these other games? Because last I checked, you didn't. So just saying, maybe need to cool down. Yeah, you got some little indie games. Yeah, they're good games, no doubt. But did you get the big games? It's kind of like going to the store. You get all the small little items. Oh yeah, I need to get batteries and shit. But did you get the new TV?
Actually, is that Microsoft has kind of already established that they are willing to take their online service, Xbox Game Pass, and put it on Nintendo Switch. The only reason it hasn't happened yet probably is because of like Switch technical limitations and like the memory space and stuff like that. Maybe they're saving it for the next console, but I think that's in the cards. Like in the future, Xbox Game Pass on Nintendo Switch, on a Nintendo console, while Microsoft just kind of goes off into the sunset, like just retires the Xbox brand and just the hardware and just focuses on the gaming service, right? And then we can just play Halo on Switch, like the way God intended, like.
So if God intended Halo to be played on a Nintendo console, here's a good question. Why is it not on a Nintendo console? Just saying, if it's part of this man's divine plan, you get to play all the Halos on Nintendo. Why aren't Halos on Nintendo? So, yeah, for the record, I do think Game Pass will inevitably head to the next Nintendo system. I also think it's possible it might head to PlayStation, but at the same time, I don't think Microsoft's going to get out of the hardware business, at least within the foreseeable future. Don't be surprised, though, if the next Xbox is just like a little stick. Because, like, I swear to God, that cloud service, that Game Pass, that's their focus from here on out. and also just having software. And honestly, it's not the worst strategy to have. In fact, it's kind of nice to think like, hey, I could buy into the Xbox ecosystem without buying an Xbox. Kind of nice. I don't have to pay $500 for a brand new console. I can just pay $30 or $50 for a freaking memory stick, and oh look, controller, and I get Game Pass for a month for free. Pretty cool idea, actually. I can't deny that.
I I I am I am very invested in seeing how things develop. I want to see. I want to see how Nintendo responds to this. I want to see like what Xbox does going forward, and I want to see Sony really starting to panic because the gaming media just is doing everything they can to cover for them at the moment. But
I mean, I really don't see game journalists covering for Sony. Just like game journalists are just reporting what they're seeing, and yeah, Sony's going to sweat a bit. Yeah, Sony's going to have to reevaluate their strategy. But like I said, I think their strategy going forward is just invest more into their first-party studios and kind of let their IPs branch out into different ideas. TV shows, movies, all that stuff. I actually think that's the better future for Sony is to either, invest in their IPs and invest in their studios or just fade away. Because that's really what's going to happen today. The best Sony could do is just provide a quality product that people will want to buy. Will it be for everyone? I don't know. I can't tell you God of War Ragnarok here, for example, it's going to be for everyone. I can't tell you Horizon Forbidden West is going to be for everyone. But it'll definitely be for the fans.
PlayStation has made a lot of mistakes over the past couple of years, like moving over to California, releasing The Last of Us Part 2, releasing the PS5, like having no games in general, and now this. Like, they're losing all of their biggest franchises to Xbox, and I don't see the gaming media talk about it enough. This is a gigantic deal, so big that I don't think PlayStation will ever recover.
I didn't know Uncharted, God of War, Last of Us got bought out by Microsoft. Oh, wait, they didn't. Because Call of Duty's not a franchise made by Sony. Never was made by Sony. It's never been made by Sony. So, right there, mistakes. Yeah, Last of Us Part 2 coming out. I'll still stand on trial saying that's one of the best freaking games I've ever played in my life. No games, yet again. Obvious he's fucking full of shit. Guess Returnal, Ratchet and Clank, Bug Snacks, all these other freaking games that have come out. Kenna Bridge of Spirits. Now, not all those games are first party games, but guess what? Not every fucking Nintendo game that's come out this last year was a first party game, was it? Shin Megami Tensei 5, No More Heroes 3. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Yeah, I hope you all have a good day. Peace out. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that other YouTube algorithm BS. Till next time, guys. Have a good day.